You are in the middle of a sentence, sharing a thought that truly matters to you, maybe with friends, in a critical meeting, or across the dinner table. And then it happens. A voice slices through yours. Someone steps right over your words, hijacks the conversation, and pushes your voice into the background. In that exact moment, something primitive awakens. Your pulse spikes. Heat floods your cheeks. The ancient instinct is clear. Fight back, push harder. And this is what most people do. They battle for airtime. They raise their voice, talk faster, talk louder, trying to drown out the interruption. They fight noise with more noise. But in doing that, they only look desperate. They look insecure. They've allowed someone else's rudeness to shatter their own calm. But what if there was another way? What if the real power wasn't in fighting for the spotlight, but in knowing how to surrender it on your own terms? The Stoic doesn't fight noise with noise. The Stoic steps into the void. Today we are breaking down the true art of handling interruptions. Not with aggression, but with the supreme power of chosen silence and precise speech. We'll see why your instant reaction is actually a surrender, and how a simple pause can become your greatest form of control. We'll tap into the wisdom of thinkers like Zeno and Epictetus to reclaim not just the conversation, but your dignity. By the end of this, you'll have the smart phrases, and more importantly, the internal calm to ensure that when others lose control of their words, you remain the unshakable master of your own mind. To handle an interruption, you first need to see the invisible landscape of that moment. Think of it as a binary frame. On one side, you have the insecure interrupter. This person is volatile. They are deeply uncomfortable with silence. To them, a pause in conversation is a vacuum that must be filled immediately with their own voice. They don't interrupt from a place of strength, but from a frantic need for validation. They believe that dominating the talk means dominating the room. On the other side, you have the Stoic archetype, the observer. The observer is steady, unmoved. This person knows that real power doesn't scream. It whispers. When you're interrupted, the immediate trap is to feel defeated. You think that stopping your sentence means you've submitted. We need to reframe that right now. Stopping is not submission. It is a tactical choice. This is what we call weaponized silence. Imagine a spotlight. When you speak, it's on you. An interrupter is desperately lunging for that light. If you wrestle them for it, you both end up in the mud, and everyone just sees a messy fight. But if you stop, the moment they speak, you cut your sentence with razor-sharp precision. You do something powerful. You hand them the spotlight. But you do it while they're stumbling. You leave them alone on that stage with their own rudeness. You make them fill the sudden awkward silence. That is the essence of dignity. The Stoic philosopher Zeno once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." He wasn't advising passivity. He was reminding us that the ability to listen and to wield silence is the mark of a superior character. History's greatest minds saw the compulsive need to speak as a leak in one's self-control. So, when someone interrupts you, see them not as a threat, but as a living lesson in what a lack of inner calm looks like. Before we get to the specific words, let's build your emotional logic bridge. Why use these techniques? If your goal is just to win the point or embarrass the other person, you've already lost your footing. You're still a slave to your own ego. The true goal is not to crush them, but to protect your inner peace. Epictetus taught that we can't control what others do, only how we perceive and respond to it. If you use these phrases to be petty or snap back, you're letting their lack of control dictate your state of mind. Instead, anchor yourself with this thought: I will master my own tongue, so I remain the master of my soul. When you refuse to be rattled, you win something bigger than the argument. You win the victory of composure. From that foundation of stillness, let's look at the specific phrases and silent cues that stop an interrupter in their tracks. Phrase 1. I see you have something to add. Please, go ahead. I'll wait. This is devastatingly effective because it uses the binary frame. The interrupter expects a fight. They want resistance. When you immediately stop and politely offer them the floor, you pull the tension right out of their attack. You're saying, I am so secure, I can afford to let you speak. The phrase, I'll wait, is key. It implies the conversation is on your terms, and you will return to your point. You become the calm adult waiting for the child to finish their outburst. Phrase 2. Please finish your thought. Then, I'll finish mine. This appeals directly to fairness, a core Stoic virtue. It's firm, not aggressive. It names the disruption without getting emotional. When you say this with steady eye contact, you establish a contract. You're granting them a turn, but you've also booked the very next one. It signals to everyone that your point hasn't been forgotten or dismissed. It frames their behavior as chaotic and yours as orderly. Phrase 3. Total silence. Sometimes the smartest thing to say is nothing at all. This is weaponized silence in its purest form. The moment they cut in, you stop. Instantly. No sigh, no eye roll, no looking away. You simply look at them with a neutral, steady gaze, and you wait. Let them talk. They're searching for your reaction: anger, annoyance, defeat. When you give them nothing but a quiet mirror reflecting their own rush, they often falter, they'll stumble or trail off. Then you wait one more sovereign second and say, "As I was saying," you pick up exactly where you left off, as if their interruption was merely a brief, irrelevant static. This shows ultimate control. Phrase 4. I do want to hear your point, but I'm curious. Are you interrupting because you thought I was finished? Or because you'd prefer I not continue? This is for repeat offenders or intentional disrespect. The tone must be one of genuine curiosity, not sarcasm. A Stoic deals in truth, not mockery. This question forces the interrupter to confront their own impulse. You bring their subconscious rudeness into the conscious light. Most interrupt on autopilot. This question is a speed bump for their mind. Usually, they'll backpedal with, "No, please, go ahead," and you've reclaimed your space without ever raising your voice. Phrase 5. I'm going to pause you there for a moment. I wasn't quite finished. Let's be clear. Stoicism is not passivity. It is active engagement with reality. And sometimes reality requires a boundary. If someone is aggressively talking over you, use a calm, low-frequency voice to hold the line. The word pause is powerful. It implies you have the remote control. Stating, "I wasn't quite done," is simply reporting a fact. There's no whiny "hey" or emotional charge. It's a gravitational statement that says you value your own words enough to protect them. Asterisk phrase 6. You seem very passionate about this. Why don't you start, and I'll follow? This is the benevolent yield with a layer of psychological mirroring. By noting their passion, you're framing their interruption as an overflow of emotion. In Stoicism, letting emotion override reason is a weakness. You're subtly highlighting their lack of control while positioning yourself as the generous, composed listener. You're stepping out of the arena, refusing to fight for scraps of attention. And often, when you give someone the full floor without resistance, the thrill of interrupting them vanishes, and they have less to say. Now bring this into your life. The next time you're interrupted, feel that jolt in your body. Recognize the primal part of you that wants to fight and shout. Acknowledge it. And then let it go. Step onto your emotional logic bridge. Remind yourself, I am not here to win a shouting match. I am here to keep my dignity. Choose your response. Will it be the powerful silence, the graceful yield, the firm boundary? Whatever you choose, deliver it with the weight of that ancient composure. Deliver it knowing that true influence doesn't come from being the loudest, but from being the most centered. When you stop battling for airtime, you become a magnet. People lean in to hear the person who speaks less, but whose words carry more weight. By pausing when interrupted, you aren't fading away. You are allowing the noise to settle so that your truth can finally be heard. Our world is drowning in noise, filled with people who are terrified of a quiet moment, who chatter to avoid their own thoughts. Do not join them. Be the contrast. Be the stillness in the middle of the storm. Remember, the goal is not just to stop someone from talking over you. The goal is to make sure that even when everything gets loud, you remain perfectly, powerfully unmoved. That is the Stoic way. That is the path to real power. Try these phrases this week. Watch what happens. You'll discover a profound truth. When you begin to respect your own silence, the world will start to respect your speech. If this perspective resonated with you, and you want to be part of a community focused on building this kind of unshakable composure and wisdom, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Let me know your biggest takeaway in the comments below. Just write composure if you're ready to master this skill. Stand tall, hold your center, and let your silence speak just as powerfully as your words.